What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. I said this to you guys after Jokic won the title last year. I'm a big believer in the trophy. The trophy is the only reason we do this, right? But at the same time, with great power comes great responsibility. A lot of LeBron fans don't like me. You know why? Because when you say things like you're the greatest basketball player of all time, which LeBron himself has said, and so many of his fans strongly believe, and I held him to a different standard this year too, because I thought he was playing at a top 5 level going into the postseason. And so with that comes me covering him and talking about him and analyzing his game from the perspective of being a guy in the running for best player of all time. Now, I think he's second, but still same standard, right? Like when you're in that conversation, when you're one of those bona fide Mount Rushmore guys in NBA history, there is an expectation that comes from that. And last night, in a must-win game, when Jokic had the best matchups and when his team was falling apart at the seams, Jokic wasn't able to regain control of the situation. Now, there's a lot of basketball left. And here's the other thing, too. Maybe Jokic doesn't care. There's been a level of indifference from him in general over the last year, even with his dominance. And maybe he doesn't care. And maybe if Ant just kicks him off of his spot and pisses all over his territory, he won't care. Maybe he'll just go back to Serbia and be happy and come back next season and try it again. But if he wants to be recognized as the perennial best player in the world, there is a standard and expectation that comes from that. And what that is you can't get your ass kicked to this extent. You have to show more fight. I've said consistently through the series, he has to look to score more. Yes, there have been double teams, but there still are plenty of times where he's not being aggressive enough. There's a clip early in this game where he had Karl Towns in single coverage in the post, no double team, and he passed out of it for no reason. You're the guy that can save them. You're the one guy. I said after game one, if you're expecting Jamal Murray with the best perimeter defender in the world to flip this script, that's not going to happen. You have to do it. You have to be the one that saves them. And you're the best player in the world. And I've come up here and said that you have a sizable gap between you and the second best player. Which, by the way, I believe. Ant is climbing that. And if Ant beats this Denver team and he runs through and he wins the championship, then he's got a really damn good claim. But he's got there is pressure and expectation that comes from that. And again, maybe Jokic doesn't care. Maybe he just doesn't care. But if he doesn't care and he gets his ass kicked in the series, then he's not the best basketball player in the world. Because the best basketball player in the world wouldn't let this happen to this extent. He would do more. Jokic can do more. That's the bottom line. Of course this is hard. Of course he's getting double teamed and there's big dudes all around him. He can do better. Here's the thing. When I was hesitant to refer to Jokic as the best player in the world, there was a very specific reason why. Do you guys remember? I said, big, slow-footed guys struggle to hang in transition and in defensive coverage situations, particularly drop coverage. I was making videos last year of Jason Tatum cooking him in drop coverage and all these different things and talking about how this is a little bit of an issue. This is what he has to fix if he's going to be the best player in the world. Last year in the postseason, he was very good defensively. This year, he has been bad. Not just okay, not just down a level from last year. He's been bad. Anthony Davis and LeBron James barbecued him. They absolutely barbecued him, and now Minnesota and Anthony Edwards are doing the same thing. He is a traffic cone in these drop coverages. They're going right around him. So even if we acknowledge the fact that your double teams are taking you out of your offense, which by the way, there's some of that, but there's plenty of opportunities that Jokic is being too passive. Game one in particular, way too passive. Came into this game, 4 more turnovers in the first half. He literally had 11 turnovers in the first 6 quarters of this series. So I do think he can do much better on offense. But even if we write that off, you're getting barbecued on the other end of the floor. You are getting absolutely fried. So do something about it. Defend your ground. You're the best player in the world. Own that. Defend it. Show some fight. Like there's pressure and responsibility and expectation that comes with holding that title. It's a title. Like there are a lot of things in the NBA, big picture things that I don't care much about. MVP, whatever, awards, doesn't really matter all that much to me. All-star selections, all that, all-star MVPs, that kind of thing. There are things that really matter to me, and one of them is who's the best player in the world. Having the title of the best basketball player in the world is an unbelievable honor. Look at the guys who came before you. The guy who had that spot for 9 seasons from 2012 to 2020, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant in the late 2000s and early 2010s, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan. Like you are in a rare company of players in NBA history. And you got the spot for 1 year, and now someone's trying to kick you off of it, and you're like, talk to Jamal. I guess we'll see what happens in game 3. Like, show some damn fight. I have big expectations for Nikola Jokic in game 3. I want to see him go. I want to see him go not like this. I want to see him go. If I'm going to go down, I'm going down swinging. I'm going down with 40 points on 32 shots if I have to, and 23 rebounds because I just started throwing cat around the gym. That's what I want to see from Nikola Jokic. And by the way, that is a prerequisite of being an all-time great. The big LeBron James, game 6, down 3-2, going into Boston and dropping 45. Steph Curry, 2022, down 2-1, going into Boston. What did he drop? 43. Like, when your back is against the wall and shit is not in your favor, that is when you show who the best player in the world is. When it's easy is only part of it. Dominance is only part of it. I talked about this earlier in this series. Those late Chicago Bulls teams in the late 90s, they were falling apart at the seams. Health-wise, Scottie Pippen's got a bad back. Dennis Rodman's leaving the team. And Michael Jordan's just like, I got to figure out a way to get this done. That is part of the journey. Is what do you do when it looks ugly? And game two was the first time where it was like, must win. You're the guy with the advantages. You got to find a way to make this happen. And what did he have? 16 points? That's just not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. And again, like that, but before Jokic fans get mad at me, if whoever it is that has the best player in the world title on this show, that's the standard that I look at them through. If you're the best player in the world, there is a standard and expectation that comes with that.